King of Kings. This is the animated story. Actually, Charles Dickens wrote a story for his kids telling the story of Christ. And so it's an animated retelling of that, essentially. So you have an animated Charles Dickens who starts off by performing the Christmas Carol, and you find out over the course of this he's trying to teach one of his younger sons, who's a bit rambunctious, the story of the greatest king of all, the King of Kings, of course, Jesus Christ. So it has that typical Angel Studios flair where it is something that I think not everyone will be able to enjoy. And my critique of it is that this is really for the single age digit kids. So if you have a kid who's maybe in that 3-ish up to maybe 9, I think that there will be some enjoyment to be had by them. It's also, I think, a good introduction for them to the story of Christ that's not too intense. So they're able to present things like him driving out the demons. They're able to present things like him dying on the cross. And yet they're able to show it in a way that's not going to be too scary. It's not going to be too intense for those kids, right? They blur out things. They focus on other things instead of the more, more intense scenery, basically. And
right.
So I think it's actually, it'll be very effective for parents who are really looking to, kind of introduce maybe a visible medium of the story of Christ to their kids in a way that is not going to be, too scary. And so I would recommend it just for that reason alone. For the adults, I don't know necessarily if they're going to have as much enjoyment with the movie overall, because it unfortunately does fall into that cheesiness. And the trailer is better than the movie. I will say, if you watch the trailer, you'll be like, this looks really good. And I'll say, yeah, it does look really good. The execution, not as much. Great voice acting cast, though. You have, Forrest Whitaker is the voice of Peter. You have Oscar Isaac as the voice of Jesus. You have a bunch of other voice actors that are in this too. So you've got that going for it. But ultimately, I would say, again, Easter movie, it'd be appropriate to bring the kids to, but probably the single-digit age kids would enjoy it. Anything higher than that, I don't know if they will buy into it nearly as much.